Hello, I hope you're all well. And this week, I really wanted to talk about planetary events that are occurring between the 20th and the 26th of January. This brings a really powerful window of transformation. So it would be really good for you to kind of maybe make some notes about what would be good to do in this time period. So on the 20th, Saturn sextile Uranus. So Saturn is about discipline, mastery of karma, and Uranus is about awakening liberation and higher timelines. These two together help to bridge old wisdom with new paradigms, bringing us grounded spirituality and sudden insights. So this would be a really good day to get quiet and really listen to your inner guidance. On the 21st, Mars trine Uranus. So this is about inspired action, breakthrough moments, and Mars brings us courage, but something that wants to align with our actions. And the trines means that the energy is flowing. So really expect insight and impulse that drives you. So this is a great time for receiving spiritual truths or any kind of truth. You might get some new ideas, and it's a really good time for releasing old patterns and old limiting beliefs as well. On the 22nd, Mars sextile Saturn. So here it's about drive meeting discipline. So use your passion to take steps towards goals. And on the 24th, Mars sextile Neptune. So this is about action that's guided by spirit. So this would be a great day for meditation, moving with the flow, being in the now moment, and journaling. So your emotions and your imaginations can really guide your intentions at this time. So use this time for visualization. This will be a really powerful day to do that. On the 26th, there is Mars that conjuncts Pluto, and Neptune enters 0 degrees at Aries. I think it's been over 160 years since we've had this. So this is like the beginning of a cycle here. So this is about death, rebirth, and spiritual ignition. So the Mars with the conjunct of Pluto, this is about shadow integration and activating our power and purifying any old fears and limitations. Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries, it's the start of a new era. So get excited. It's a new way of being. So this is about having the courage, to be in alignment and you be in your embodiment of what you really want to manifest. So this is about creative power, and really aligning with your soul's potential. So this 6-day window is about bringing, our vision, having the courage to move forward in the area that we really want to, that really lights us up. And surrendering. So, surrendering, not thinking of how is this going to happen, but having a belief that it's going to. This is about rebirth, so real rebirth of your spiritual self. So there are themes of awakening energy, grounding support, spiritual attunement. So it's a great time for energy work as well, and healing, and also your transformational power really coming online. So this is really a good time to align your actions with your intuition, release any old identities, limiting beliefs, that kind of thing, and really commit to your soul-led path. What is it that really drives you? What have you been having ideas for that you may not have made the steps in that direction yet? So try and clear this week if you can, or as much of this week as you can. I know a lot of us work, so it might be difficult. So plan some time for inner work, setting and embodying your intentions. So write this out, because the pen to paper thing is very powerful. That's how many of us have learned, in the school system, is to write down things to help us solidify and memorize these things. So by doing that and committing to, pen to paper can really help us embody our intentions, and believe in your manifestations, and know that you are consciously co-creating your new reality with spirit. Remember, it's about your belief and your intentions, and then your willpower and your actions of what you're going to do to move forward to what you really want. So really get clear on what it is you desire at a core level, Some of us may not know this. It's taken me a really long time to really get clear on what I actually want, because we can dull down our desires and our passions when we get into, standard 9 to 5 jobs. Growing up and being a child, we just do things that we really want to do because we had that freedom and that time for play. As we get older, our energy gets, more depleted. We have more responsibilities, routine structures that we have to do. And then we kind of like set aside our passions and into a little box, and then we may not even remember what we're passionate about. So it would be a really good time before the 20th, if you can, to really make some lists on what you just really enjoy doing. Do you really like exercise? Do you really like meditation? It doesn't have to be about your, what job you want to do. It can just be your desires and your passions. So, what do you really want in your 3D reality? Because you are the creator of that. Remember, it's about what you're intending, what you want in your life to show up. I would say your manifestations can come at a quicker pace at this time as well, with the energy being really strong, with all these planetary events occurring in a very small window. If you're having fear-based thoughts, these are also going to manifest quicker. So you want your manifestations and, your goals and all of these things to be something that, really does light you up, not something, if you keep thinking of something that you don't want, that is what's going to show up. Because remember, energy flows where your attention goes. So the more, say I've struggled with anxiety in the past, and the more I would, think of like certain thoughts of, I don't want this to happen, it would happen. So try and think about what you do want to happen, not what you don't want to happen. So if you are ready for abundance, in whatever way lights you up, this is the perfect time to receive. The energy may feel quite overwhelming, so it might be good for you to try and get out in nature if you can, and be mindful, try and be in the present moment, just notice the things around you, rather, try and get out of your head and your thoughts and get into your body. That's why being out in nature is good, because it's a good distraction from our thoughts, because we can pay attention to what's going on around us, listening to birds, watching the trees sway, that kind of thing. It really helps me. You can ground down to Mother Earth, meditate, imagine, roots going down into Mother Earth and just allowing the energy to come back through to you. So, take some time to meditate, do some journaling, just do things that make you feel balanced, at peace, and bring you some joy. There are some changes that are going to be coming. This is we're nearly at the end of the year of the snake in, Chinese astrology. And I think mid-February, we're going to the fire horse, and that's going to be movement, which really kind of, aligns with the 0 degrees at Aries with Neptune. So there's going to be so many shifts occurring from, like, say, this time to, I'd say, the end of April. So really use this time, for your benefit. The changes that are coming may seem quite dramatic, but anything that's meant to leave will leave, and anything that's meant to stay will stay. This can feel painful. It can be quite rapid and dramatic, but remember that you need to make space for the new. So anything that's leaving you at this time is meant to leave you. So try and be kind to yourself. Try and just be in touch with your feelings and your emotions. Doing things that is because you want to do it, not just because you feel obligated. That's why, writing these things down can really help you, because if you have, cyclic thoughts that cycle around in your mind, if you get it out on paper, you can then make more sense of what's kind of going on internally, because we can kind of get, consumed by the noise around us. So, try and make some space, in your environment, just, to set aside some practices that you like to do, whether that is lighting a candle, lighting some incense. There's a simple ritual you could do. You can do this anytime between the 20th and the 26th. So you'd need a candle, a pen and paper, a lighter and a bowl if you want to burn it. So basically, light the candle, take some time, a few breaths, and write down what you are releasing, and write down what you are becoming. place your hand over your heart and say, I act in alignment with my soul's truth. I trust the unfolding. And then on the 26th, either burn that piece of paper or tear it up and dispose of it, safely. By writing this down, it's going to solidify it. So remember, with anything you want to manifest, it's putting some energy into it, not being obsessed with it and hoping for the outcome, but kind of like writing it down, then releasing it is a good way to kind of bring those manifestations to you. So yeah, this is a good time. Like, just try and take some time in this week for your visionary planning, what it is you want to have in your life going forward. And yeah, do be prepared for some dramatic changes. Try and embrace it. Don't resist it. It is all happening as it's meant to in divine timing. But we can help, especially with this window, really use this to your advantage. So I will also be releasing a meditation just before the 26th that can help you with this energy as well. So keep your eye out for that. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, thank you. Bye.